My name is Nora Baston. I'm a Deputy Superintendent for the Boston Police. I've been on for 19 years. I am currently in charge of the street outreach team and the neighborhood watch team, but I spend predominantly most of my time in the community outreach to the youth. So I grew up in a place called Georgetown in Hyde Park. I went to Boston Latin School. I wasn't the best student, but I met some good friends there, and I was able to go on to college, where I went to UMass Lowell. I also was able to play in the women's basketball team. I went on as a walk-on at first. Kind of spent most of my time in college, a little bit struggling in between my home life and where I grew up, and kind of adjusting to college life. And one day my father showed up to my dorm room. It was about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, which I thought was odd. And my coach was there and a couple of players, and I got nervous. I knew something wasn't right. And he basically told me that, he goes, "Mommy has cancer." I immediately went to the hospital with my mom. I spent probably 3 straight weeks there, just by her side, until, I kind of knew that, well, she made me think that everything was going to be okay. She said, "The one thing you can do for me is really just concentrate on school, and home will be okay." One day I went to visit her in the hospital because I knew she was getting visits, and I surprised her. And we kind of got in an argument because she said, "What are you doing here? I want you back in school. You need to concentrate on school." And I was kind of bothered because I said, "Well, I'm just here to visit you." And we kind of got in a little argument, so I left. I was like, "Fine." And some woman chased me out of the hospital, and she said, "Don't leave. This could be the last time you see your mother." Before I knew it, 2 months later is like 100 years when someone has an illness, and I went to visit her, and she passed away, and I left school completely for about a month or two. And it's not that I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to live without my mother. She was everything to me. My friends, one of them came to visit me, and she was a senior, and she said, "Listen, the one thing I know about you is you always talk about your mother, and everything that you do is because of her, and you're going to throw it all away, and she's watching you still." And she said, "Why don't you just do it for your mother then?" And since that day, I really picked up. I went on from a walk-on to starting. I went to grad school. I went on to the FBI, the police. Everything in my life started going well. I really did it for my mom. She was my biggest role model in my life. I try to tell kids in life, the struggle's going to happen, and you're going to get knocked down. And when you get knocked down, it's going to be pretty hard to get up. But let people help you up, and I guarantee you get stronger, and you can do it no matter what struggles you have. So when the police job came up, I said, I can do this. When exams came up to excel through the police department, I said, I can do this. When they asked me to go on the command staff, being the only female, and it was difficult, I thought about my mother and saying how proud she would be, saying that's my girl. And I made me even work harder and made me excel and be proud of putting on a uniform and being a female. The challenge is always there, just being a male-dominated job, and having the females know and have the confidence that they don't have to sit behind the desk. And I make sure they're studying and make sure that the opportunities that they should be having is available. The most important thing about my job is actually building relationships. And it has to be consistent every day. The kids have to believe in you and see you, whether it's through basketball, ping pong, or just conversation. And I think when the kids trust you, when you build that trust, they're going to start to open up to you, and they're going to start allowing you to help them. With kids, everyone says, be a role model, but you have to earn it. I also think you have to have them respect you first, and respect goes a long way, especially in the neighborhoods. And to put this uniform on and let the kids actually respect me as a cop, as a person, and then I'm going to be able to be that role model, and then they're going to let me into their life. And I know that takes a lot of work, and I know that takes consistency, and that's why I'm out there every day in the community trying to build the trust with the kids.